Hey, what is going on, guys? I'm Tom from Motorculture Australia, and today we have something super exciting. So let's go check it out. Vogue Industries has not one, not two, but three Lamborghini Huracans in the shop at the moment, and that's not even the best part. The best part is just to my right here that you're going to see in a second. It is a Ferrari 488 Pista. That thing is absolutely gorgeous. The spec is clean. But guys, let's talk about the car we're here to review today. So we're going to get Long over. He's going to tell us a little bit about what's been done to this car, because this is far from standard. So this has the Liberty Walk kit on it. Long, tell us a bit about the Liberty Walk kit, mate. How much is it? What's the process of getting it and installing it?
Process at the moment now with COVID, unfortunately, it's going to take a few months, probably about a 3-month turnaround for chasing freight. This here is your standard traditional LB kit. Obviously matched with the pure wheels. It's one of the original ones we've had about 3 years ago now, I think we've had, running on the airlift air suspension.
Yep. So these wheels are pretty special too. Can you tell us roughly a price range that you're looking at for these?
Some of these with the tyres, you're looking at 18k landed, including all the taxes and duties. So yeah, they're not your standard $3,000-4,000 units. So
yeah, it's not every day you see an 18 grand set of wheels. But let's talk about the interior, because that's pretty special as well.
Yeah.
Now, before we do have a look at the interior on this car, take a look at just how wide that Liberty Walk kit really is. It is absolutely insane, guys. It quite literally hangs out about that far from the standard width of the car. And the rear end of these cars, when they've had the kit installed, is just completely out of this world, looks completely UFO. So we'll show you some better shots of that in a second, but let's get in and check out the interior. Alrighty, so Lamborghinis, very simple fighter jet style design for their interior. So you'll notice if we get rid of this air suspension controller there, you've got your windows to go up and down just on the side here, which is cool. And then obviously you've got your front lift here. You've got your roof here, and reverse, all in this nice little horizontal cluster for all the buttons, which is nice and easy. And as well, obviously you've got the digital dash. So one of my favorite things on a lot of cars these days is the digital interiors, and I think Lamborghini almost has one of the best. The way it's displayed is super aggressive. It looks really nice, and I think they've done a very good job of keeping everything easy to find while still looking quite complex as well. Alrighty, so taking a look at the interior on this car, the first thing you're going to notice is it's not a standard interior. Nothing about this car is standard. So straight off the bat, what you notice is these are the carbon seats. They're bucket seats, race seats, they're bolted in, and they've got the red Alcantara fit out throughout the car. So Long, tell us straight off the bat, this is what people love to know, how much is it to option this interior?
The interior from memory was about a 30k option, so we ticked that box.
Yep, it's not the only $30,000 option. The other one that is on this car you can't see right now.
Which we can show, yeah, definitely. The other box we ticked was the custom colour, so obviously it's not originally satin black as you see it, but it is purple underneath, so which is the original paintwork, so that's another 30k option.
So the paint on this car is a $30,000 option. Wrap-wise has gone and wrapped it in this satin black, which, by the way, looks very stealthy, suits the car, especially with the red interior, but, a $30,000 paint is quite an expensive option.
Yep.
So Lamborghini does absolutely everything to the finest of details. Take a look how close this, engine cover is to the spoiler as well. That is millimeters away, but under here you're going to see the original colour. So this is the $30,000 paint option that we were talking about a little bit earlier on, but you can just, if you get a peek through there, see the intake that goes straight into the massive V10 that puts out about 600 horsepower. This has had a tune, so I think it's running about 625, 630 horsepower, so it's a little bit quicker. And this is the all-wheel drive version, is that right?
It's the all-wheel drive version.
So it's functional power, it can put all its power down. Some of those rear-wheel drive Lambos have a little bit of trouble. But we'll show you more about that when we get ours. So look, take a look at the rear of this car. The spoiler here, Long, can you tell us where that's from? Is that part of the Liberty Walk kit?
Yes, so the rear bar is part of the Liberty Walk kit. And obviously we chose this style over the kit. There's another style, but we ended up choosing this one here. Matched it all up with our brakes with the anodized purple setup.
Yep, and roughly, because you went with the anodized purple bolts because the car was purple originally, obviously.
That's correct, yes.
Can you tell us roughly, I'm not sure if we mentioned it before, how expensive is this kit?
This kit here, you're probably looking roughly about 60k.
60k for the kit.
Plus fitting, plus painting. So it all depends, who you take it to.
So if you've got a Lamborghini and you want to put a Golf R on top of it, buy a Liberty Walk kit. But get a good shot of how wide and aggressive that rear end is, because it's absolutely crazy. And of course, one of the big ticket items at the back here is the FI exhaust. So what we're going to do is we're going to start it up and show you how that sounds, because it's by far my favourite part of the whole car. So the first thing you notice when you put up the Frunk is it's carbon, right? This is a 1016 Industries bonnet. It's fully carbon fibre. I believe $9,000 for the the bonnet. So that's quite an expensive bonnet. Now with this car, you don't get much storage with a Lamborghini as is. But Long, what have you got in the front here, mate?
We got the rest of our air system, part of our air lift, so our tank and obviously our control module. So
you're not going to be doing much grocery shopping in your Lamborghini?
Yes, we sacrifice food for a little bit of air ride. So
bags first of the world. You have absolutely no room in this car to put anything. So you can take yourself and a passenger and whatever you can hold, but that's about it. First thing you notice is how loud this car is, right? The FI exhaust is it's very loud. It's a little bit drony actually, but I think it is a few years old, 4 or 5 years old. So the
16.
Yeah. So the tech probably isn't the best in the world, but getting out of this driveway is a bit nerve-wracking, just knowing how valuable this kit is, but there we go. And you got your indicators on the steering wheel, which is something you sort of got to get used to, but once you're on the road, look, this thing is absolutely as precise as you can get with its steering. It's just, you can't get more precise than this, but you're going to see on the camera how rough the ride is. It is really, really rough, but you know, that's the luxuries that you sacrifice to be able to do things like this. Like, it just doesn't get much better than that. The sound, the view you have in front of you, everything combined just is such an experience in this car. And it's you know, that's why Lamborghinis are expensive and they are renowned as being one of the best driving cars in the world, because they absolutely are everything that they promise to be. So another thing that's interesting in this car is the shifts could not be faster. There is no possible way to shift faster. When I pull the pedal, before my brain even registers that the car should have downshifted, it's already done it. It's absolutely lightning fast. And the way it goes around corners, it's just Lamborghini has killed it, nailed it. And the way this car sounds is just, there's nothing else like it. Nothing else like it. But those crackles, there's nothing quite like that, Overall opinion, guys, this is one of the most exhilarating cars to drive, and Long will be lucky to get this car back off me after today.
You should go buy one, mate.
Already done it, haven't I?